Night City is a wonderful and dangerous place. It contains jaw-dropping skyscrapers full of stunningly bright lights as far as the eye can see. Everywhere you look, neon lights and colorful advertisements are either in front of you or within your peripheral vision. On the flip side of this, there are many streets outside of the city center that are full of trash, debris, homeless communities, and gang members. So, like I said, it is a wonderful and yet dangerous place. Just like every other city in the world, it is no utopia. There are good and bad places and people. But what sets Night City apart is that there always seems to be something or someone worse. You could die at any moment due to sudden gang brawls since they rule most of the city. If you're not a paying member of the trauma team, then you will be left to die on the streets. Even first aid is far-fetched. The Night City Police Department, while severely understaffed, can still help you with any emergency, although there's a good chance that they will respond after 24 hours. Since there is a backlog of emergencies they need to take care of every single day. Mega corporations control most of the average night citizen's daily consumption, such as food or drink made from giant synthetic farms outside of the city, and entertainment, where brain dances and dolls are the most popularly consumed ones. Gangs even own a huge percentage of this, since they operate a lot of bars, clubs, and even the giant mega building apartments. It is exceptionally hard to succeed and make a name for yourself in Night City if you are just an average citizen. After I finished the main game and saw the many conclusions to V's story, I saw that rarely anyone gets a happy ending in this city. That's what inspired me to write this essay, because Night City is its own character, and its philosophy is something worthwhile to think about. Night City is a place that falls under the category of a late-stage capitalist metropolis wherein mega corporations dominate the entire market and controls almost every facet of the city ecosystem. The extreme inequality of its citizens is blatantly obvious everywhere. Many of the citizen benefits and human rights that we enjoy today are considered a luxury in this place. Even something so simple as browsing the internet has its limitations due to netwatch and rogue AIs. To make it in this city, you need to either have backing from corpos or take it for yourself, just what V and a bunch of other mercenaries did. Still, there are rare instances where others made it without doing any of these. However, the forces of Night City are always hovering over everyone, and you might already be affected without even knowing about it. It doesn't end there. The city is alive 24/7, and other than the unrealistic hope of living a good life, you might also find yourself between the crossfires of gang brawls, mercenaries doing their jobs, and cyberpsychos. Cyberpsychos, a Night City specialty. These are extremely violent criminals that destroy everything in their path, whether it be cars, buildings, or other humans. While doing Regina's quest, wherein you capture the cyberpsychos, you also get a glimpse of their backstories, and most of the stories have a common theme. The criminals have been done wrong either by their employers, co-workers, or just the mega corporations in general. I feel bad for some of the cyberpsychos because they succumb to the call of the machine at the peak of their despair. There are many similar situations like this in Night City, where the mega corporations were the source, and we can look no further than in the districts of the city. Watson was initially a booming district full of industrial facilities, the med center, and a lively entertainment scene in Kabuki. But all of that changed when the mega corporations, specifically Arasaka, swallowed their competitors and ran the district dry. Now, the North Side Industrial District is full of empty buildings infested with the Maelstrom gang. Same with Kabuki and Chinatown with Tiger Claws. Santo Domingo is another district that was left in the dust by the corpos. Many of the industrial buildings you see here are either abandoned or ongoing, which basically means incomplete because those buildings and Santo Domingo in general has been developing for a long time with no end in sight. The reason for this is that the corpos have been using this place as a testing ground for industrial projects, destroying old factories, building new ones in their place, and repeating the same thing. Pacifica has a similar story. It was envisioned as Night City's vacation resort for the uber wealthy and was heavily invested in by the corpos. However, after the Unification War, all construction was put into a permanent halt and Pacifica became a lawless, anarchic place overrun by the voodoo boys and animals. The other districts of Night City, such as Westbrook, Haywood, and of course, the city center, are relatively better than the aforementioned ones, but it doesn't mean that it's not controlled by the gangs and corpos, because it it is. Westbrook is heavily controlled by Tiger Claws, Haywood by the Valentinos, and of course, the city center is controlled by the mega corporations. Their skyscrapers conjoin together and rise above the entire skyline, signaling their dominance to everyone. However, no matter how clean the districts look though, they can never truly hide the decaying society of Night City because it reflects on the people. A city is only as good as its people, and other than the cyberpsychos, the delinquent forces of Night City can also be seen in its citizens. We can look no further than our very own V, a mercenary who's trying to make a name for himself and got dealt an extremely bad hand. He got caught up in a series of unfortunate events involving Arasaka, betrayed by his fixer and left for dead, revived by a microchip which is then also killing him on the inside, and a bunch of other stuff in between. There's also Jackie, another mercenary who got killed doing a job with V. Evelyn, a doll who set up a heist against Arasaka and when it failed, went back to her old job, got tortured, and eventually killed herself. There's also Jefferson Perales, a person running for mayor in Night City. He was trying to do everything right and as clean as possible, especially by not taking donations from the corpos. In return, he had his mind and personality altered so that he will still be amenable for the corpos if he ever wins. Of course, we cannot forget Johnny Silverhand, a rocker boy who saw a lost cause in dealing with the mega corporations because of their overwhelming sheer influence and power in Night City, so he led an assault in the heart of Arasaka. Looking at all of these people and the way they think about the world, it really makes you think what kind of place Night City is to foster such a culture. However, some people do make it in Night City, but you would have to dance with the devil to even make it work. Rogue is a great example. The queen of mercenaries, she had to strike a deal with the corpos to survive and hold her reign. Even the god of rock himself, Kerry Eurodyne, had to do the same in order to keep making music. There are countless of other people that are in the same boat, but I want to talk about a different way of surviving in Night City: contentment. Being content with one's own lot is very rare in Night City, especially since temptations are everywhere and are easily accessible. Even augmenting your body is easily accessible if you have the eddies for it. Whether it's improving or pleasuring yourself, Night City has it all. That's the philosophy that permeates throughout the city and is easily observable everywhere. Almost all the people you bump into is utilizing some sort of cyberware. Advertisements throughout the city and TV shows promote the same thing. People are literally being programmed to consume, and of course, all of these are products and strategies of the mega corporations. However, there are some people who have resisted this way of life, and they are the most peaceful, undamaged people I have ever met. My favorite example is our good old Ripper Dog, Victor. He had something he wanted to do, worked hard for it, got his own practice, and stopped there, content with what he achieved. And since he didn't have the weight of ambition or temptation of consumerism to overtake him, he had the energy and kindness to be a good friend, a constant that our character V has counted on so many times. Judy was almost the same. However, she didn't want to be content with the status quo and tried to change it. Eventually, the forces of Night City got to her and she snapped, deciding to leave the city. Night City is not for the weak, nor the faint of heart. It will chew you up and spit you out if you're not careful, whether by force or by indirect means. And even though it's impossible, it feels like the city is alive and is always looming over you. The only hope for this kind of place is contentment and spirituality. However, in a technologically advanced society such as this, where impossible things seem to be achievable and even normal, it's hard to follow and practice. And that is the great challenge of their time, and maybe our time as well in the near future.